Thanks for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Nick Laupius.
And I'm Danielle Ibarra. It's considered to be one of the most dangerous strips of road in Denton County, the S-curve on Hickory Creek. The question has been what to do about fixing it, and now the city is taking action. NTTV's Kennedy Huff is live at the curve with more. Kennedy?
Yeah, Daniela and Nick, I'm on Hickory Creek Road right now, and I'm about half a mile away from that dangerous S-curve where, according to the Denton Record Chronicle, at least once every 3 months a serious crash has occurred since 2014. Now, that S-curve has claimed the lives of UNT student Lucas Tucker as well as brothers Daniel and Diego Rivera. Now, this Hickory Creek Road is shared by Denton County as well as the city of Denton, and they've already begun making repairs and improvements to this road. Some of those repairs include adding guardrails, but that's not all.
After the repairs are done, we will go back out there and fix any of the spots where they did the base failures. We'll also put reflective buttons down, and we do have some lighted signs and chevrons that have been ordered. They're supposed to be in next week or so.
Yeah, and the rain we've had these past couple of days has definitely caused delays to construction, but the long-term plans that the city and county have are both still in effect. One of those plans includes straightening out the road behind me. Another is no longer allowing plans for new homes to be built in this area, and they're hoping that this will cut down some of the congestion and traffic that flows through here. That's all I have for now. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Kennedy. Well, a lot of drivers were caught off guard this morning when they discovered part of South Welch Street on the UNT campus is closed.
Yeah, and one of the problems was the limited signage, with drivers hitting their brakes when they came across those closure barriers.
But the headache is only temporary, though. Julian Esparza is live there now. Julian?
Yeah, Nick and Daniela, well, first and foremost, some good news right now. The road is back open here on Welch Street, but earlier today, crews closed part of Welch Street from Eagle Drive to Maple Street this morning. They're working to install water taps and complete some other repairs. UNT Transportation said this morning 7 UNT bus routes could experience delays until construction is complete. So whether you're taking the bus or to campus or if you drive, do plan on leaving just a little bit earlier. Some good news, though, the closure is only expected to last until Saturday. That is weather permitting, though. We did see some rain today. Some rain is in the forecast tomorrow. Andy will have more on that in just a little bit. But if that rain still hangs around and it impacts construction could go into next week. So again, plan on leaving a little bit earlier, seek an alternate route if you can. We're live on the UNT campus. Julian Esparza, NTTV News.
Thank you, Julian. And waiting in traffic due to construction can really drain your gas tank, and this can put a dent in your wallet as gas prices continue to rise. This week, Texas drivers experienced the biggest spike in gas prices in over a year. These prices increased as much as 17 cents. Now, Texas AAA blames the ongoing refinery problems and the tightening of global crude oil inventory for the price spike.
Well, it might be getting a little closer to spring, but if you were outdoors this morning, it was far from spring-like. It was rainy, cold, and damp, and the rain wasn't particularly heavy in the Denton area, but raincoats, umbrellas, and puddles were all in evidence. Now, some parts of the Metroplex reported seeing sightings of soft hail, which is sort of like a wet snow that makes streets and highways slick.
Well, I was definitely very glad to see that this afternoon those kind of conditions kind of cleared up a little bit.
Yeah, no, hopefully we're done with the rain, but let's head over to Andrew Tate to see if there's more rain in the next 24 hours.
Well, Nick and Danielle, right now we aren't seeing any rain in the Denton area, and that's kind of moved off the radar into East Texas, but our current temperatures, we're sitting at 50 degrees, feeling cooler than that in the low 40s, and that's due to a wind coming out of the east at 14 miles per hour. Now, looking on tonight, the chances of rain do return. It's going to be cooler in the 30s, 40s. It'll feel kind of chilly because as more storms move into the region, it will get a little chilly. And then on to the morning, you will want to pack the umbrella because the chance of rain really does return. And I'll get into the chance for rain into the weekend and the 7-day forecast, but tomorrow morning, feeling in the low 50s with a slight breeze. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Andrew. And it was certainly a good day for indoor activities, and UNT International hosted a perfect afternoon event. It was called International Mother Language Day. International students from across UNT got together to celebrate their own languages and the art that comes from it. And they presented calligraphy, poetry, and other art forms throughout the afternoon.
I say, to me, language is identity. It's life in itself, because without your language, you are like a dead person.
I thought this was such a heartwarming event. All these college kids who are here from all over the world, and they often probably don't have time to think about where they've come from, their heritage, their languages, and here they could all come together and share something that was really close and dear to their hearts.
I really hope to see UNT do more of these types of cultural events.
Now, for information on upcoming international events, check out their website at international.unt.edu. And UNT international students aren't the only ones that should be proud of their accomplishments. Yesterday, President Samatras announced that UNT has been declared a Tier 1 research university for the second year in a row. He thanked UNT's faculty and staff for their efforts as UNT continues to strive toward National Research University Fund standards. UNT is one of 131 research institutions to receive this commendable honor.
Nick, did you know that there's over 600 homeless people in Denton County?
Well, not only that, but there has been a 12% increase since 2017, but our own Dante Nunez has found an organization devoted to helping the homeless. Dante?
Thanks, guys. The homeless community continues to be on the rise. In October of last year, the United Way of Denton estimated just over 550 homeless people. Their latest numbers tell us that there are over 630. And one North Texan takes matters into his own hands in tonight's Positively North Texas. Lance Orlinsky stops in Denton twice a week to give the homeless a free hot shower.
Street-side showers, what we do is we're a mobile shower unit, and what we do is we travel around throughout North Texas and DFW area, and we provide a mobile hot shower for those that are experiencing homelessness.
Lance provides a shower, clothes, and a hygiene kit for those experiencing homelessness. They set up at St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church near downtown Denton.
That's the one beauty about this, is that it's mobile, and we're able to set up and we can park in very strategic areas.
For the homeless, cleanliness is essential because it keeps them from getting sick. The hygiene kit provides toiletries, soap, and more.
A shower is such a simple thing. You know, it's something we very easily take for granted.
Lance and the church also provides lunch for the homeless, and that, Danny and Nick, is a look at tonight's Positively North Texas. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up, a Coast Guard lieutenant charged for domestic terrorism.
And Empire actor Jussie Smollett faces legal charges. We'll have the story.
Every time you let go of balloons, they leave the troposphere, sail past the clouds, and enter the stratosphere where they eventually lose their helium. Then they come back down to Earth where they can disturb ecosystems by landing in ponds and lakes where cute little turtles and bubbly fish can then choke on the remains. But the trouble doesn't stop there. Balloons can also land in power lines where they can create surges that knock out electricity, meaning the apocalypse as we know it. No power, no Wi-Fi, no Twitter, no order. Just a world engulfed in chaos where fire is law and human beings are forced to communicate face to face. So don't let it happen. Don't let them go.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, "Read your lease. No pets allowed." My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Moment to clarify a story from yesterday evening's newscast. NTTV News reported that the IHOP located near the UNT campus had been purchased by the university and was not acquired by eminent domain. That was incorrect. On August 17, 2017, UNT approved the use of eminent domain and acquired that land that the now closed IHOP sits on. Again, we apologize for the mistake.
And with the 2020 election approaching and political rivalries at an all-time high, one Coast Guard officer tried to take matters into his own hands, planning a mass killing of Democratic lawmakers and journalists. CNN's Jessica Snyder has the story.
Court documents providing chilling details about a Coast Guard lieutenant who prosecutors say hoped to murder innocent civilians on a scale rarely seen in this country before being arrested in Maryland last week. 49-year-old Christopher Hasson is facing federal charges of illegal possession of a firearm and possession of a controlled substance. But prosecutors say these charges are just the tip of the iceberg, writing, "The defendant is a domestic terrorist bent on committing acts dangerous to human life that are intended to affect government conduct." Investigators say they found this hit list on Hasson's computer, containing names of prominent Democrats, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as well as a number of 2020 Democratic candidates, including Senators Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, and Kirsten Gillibrand. The list also containing the names of several journalists from CNN and MSNBC. Federal agents say they found 15 firearms and more than 1,000 rounds of ammunition in Hasson's Maryland apartment, in addition to a stockpile of steroids the government says Hasson was using to increase his ability to conduct attacks. In emails outlined in court filings, Hasson calls himself a white nationalist and was inspired by a manifesto written by Anders Breivik, a Norwegian terrorist convicted of killing 77 people in 2011. Prosecutors say roughly a month before his arrest, Hasson Googled topics including, "Are Supreme Court justices protected?" "Where do most senators live in D.C.?" and "Civil war if Trump impeached."
Texas Representative Joaquin Castro is taking a defiant stance against President Trump's national emergency declaration. He and other House Democrats will file a resolution tomorrow aimed at blocking the declaration, which would help finance the president's long-promised southern border wall. And even if the resolution passes both the House and the GOP-controlled Senate, it will likely be vetoed by President Trump. Last week, Congress approved a vast spending bill that included more than $1 billion to build 55 miles of border barriers in Texas's Rio Grande Valley. And the struggles down south continue as it revealed that migrant families are still being separated. A report from the Department of Health and Human Services showed that from July 1st to November 7th, 118 children were separated from their parents. This all comes after the June court order that required the, quote, speedy reunification of families. U.S. Customs and Border Protection says that the biggest challenge they struggle to face is to prove that the families are actually related.
Empire actor Jussie Smollett was arrested this morning on a felony charge for filing a false police report last month. He told police he was attacked by two men yelling racist and homophobic slurs, but Chicago police found this to be false. Omar Jimenez has more.
I'm left hanging my head and asking why. Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations?
Jussie Smollett is now facing a felony charge of disorderly conduct, and it all stems from his own claims that police now say are false. The black and gay star of the Fox show Empire alleges that in the early morning hours of January 29th, he was attacked by these men and claims they yelled racist and homophobic slurs, tied a rope around his neck, and poured an unknown substance on him. It was a story that set off a tidal wave of initial support from actors to presidential candidates.
We gave him the benefit of the doubt up until that 47th hour. But when we discovered the actual motive, quite frankly, it pissed everybody off.
As the investigation began to play out, police took these two brothers into custody as suspects.
Their attorney showed up. After speaking with these two people of interest, she said that something smelled fishy.
They were released without being charged. Phone records show Smollett spoke to the brothers before and after the attack, and police say Smollett paid these men $3,500 to stage the entire thing, reportedly unhappy with his salary on Empire.
I only hope that the truth about what happened receives the same amount of attention that the hoax did.
I'm Omar Jimenez reporting.
You know, Nick, if the weather is as gross this weekend as it was all week, I don't think I'm going to go out this weekend.
Yeah, I think you read my mind. If we have those same temperatures, it might just be perfect to stay inside. But hopefully we have some clearer weather coming up. Let's go ahead and go back to Andrew Tate for our full look forecast.
Thanks, Nick and Danny. But before we look at North Texas, let's take a look at hot and sunny California. Or maybe cold and snowy California. Most of California and the region surrounding is actually under several feet of snow, going all the way down to the Sierra Nevada mountains near San Diego. Now looking at our Apogee Stadium camera, North Texas, like I said, the rain has cleared out and the sun is poking out the partly cloudy skies. We've got a beautiful sunset happening this evening. Now our temperatures across North Texas are for the most part in the 40s and 50s. In Denton, we are sitting at 50, out in Graham, they're at 53, and then towards the eastern part of North Texas, Sulphur Springs at 48 and Paris at 44. And then expanding onto the state, out in El Paso, they're at 65, and up in Amarillo, they're at 60. Moving down into the Austin and Houston area, Austin's at 55, Houston at 54, out in Tyler, they're at 49. And then our 7-day forecast, the chance of rain does return as we move into the weekend. Thursday today, we had a 75% chance of rain, and then tomorrow and Saturday is where we're going to see the biggest chance of rain returning. Tomorrow you will want to pack the umbrella as we have about a 70% chance of rain, and Saturday it drops down to 50, and it's going to be a chillier weekend with lows in the 30s. Sunday's going to be a decent day. The sun will poke out, not much of a chance for rain. And then moving back on into the early part of the week on Tuesday, it starts to get a little nastier. We'll see if any storms might develop moving into early next week. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Andrew. And up next, the sunscreen that protects you might be harming the ocean life.
And a newfound discovery leaves scientists shocked.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Texas, we take the sun very seriously, and that means using sunscreen as protection. But there is a growing concern that certain chemicals in sunscreen can harm the coral reefs. Another city in Florida is banning some sunscreens, but doctors are worried it could mean less protection against skin cancer. Meredith Wood has more.
Protecting the ocean.
In the areas where you've got a lot of these chemical sunscreens going into the water, those corals aren't going to come back.
Protecting our skin.
Our main interest is protecting patients from skin cancer.
Two sides of a growing debate.
Not just coral, it is also toxic to fish. It's toxic to algae. Oxybenzone is almost like an herbicide.
UVA rays from the sun penetrate deeper layers of the skin and are linked to melanoma. UVB rays damage outer layers and cause sunburns. While some sunscreens only block one type of ray, the American Academy of Dermatology says oxybenzone is among the few FDA-approved ingredients that blocks both.
The AAD's recommendations are based on the existing body of scientific evidence, and It may evolve if science evolves, but right now the research is not very persuasive.
For those concerned about the environment, there is some middle ground.
Using sunscreen is just part of a comprehensive sun protection plan. Sun-smart behavior is seeking out the shade, wearing sun-protective clothing.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
A species of giant tortoise thought to be extinct has been found near the Galapagos Islands. Now this is a Fernandina giant tortoise. The last one was seen alive was back in 1906. And scientists don't think she's the only one. She was taken to a breeding center on nearby Santa Cruz Island. The Fernandina giant tortoise is one of 14 tortoise species native to the Galapagos. Most of them are endangered. And this new discovery will change Jurassic Park forever. The fossil found in Utah is believed to be one of the, quote, Morus intrepidus. It was alive about 96 million years ago, but unlike the T-Rex, the Morus is tiny, standing anywhere from 3 to 4 feet tall. Researchers believe the Morus existed after the earliest T-Rexes. And a lot even thought it was lightweight. The Morus was fast, and over millions of years, they evolved into the T-Rex we know today.
A phone the size of a tablet that can also fit in your pocket. Now, it may sound like fiction, but Samsung says they've made it possible. Samsung has announced their new line of phones along with a new addition to the mix, a foldable cell phone known as the Samsung Galaxy Fold. The phone has a 4.3-inch display that can fold out to 7.3 inches. The phone is reported to be launched April 26 and will cost a hefty $1,980. It will also come a pair with their new wireless earbuds.
I don't know about you guys, but I think $1,000 for a phone is a lot.
Well, I don't know. It's foldable, though, and the technology is pretty cool.
I mean, it's amazing how advanced technology is becoming. And speaking of advanced, there are some updates on the UNT facility. But not only that, the NBA season has returned. I'll talk about that when we come back.
Listen.
All it took was someone who would insist that I just try.
Suddenly, everything was turned around because they judge you.
You tell them, I don't need this.
No one is going to understand.
Unless they've been through it, how can they?
Then one day you realize.
You feel so hopeless.
I need help. I need help.
You feel so hopeless.
Then one day you realize.
Unless they've been through it, how can they understand?
I don't need this.
No one's going to judge you.
Suddenly everything was turned around because they insist that I just try.
All it took was someone who would just...
Listen.
Let's look at this study spot by the Lyceum. Not only do these plush seats come with that perfect natural lighting, but you're also granted live lounge music.
How about a peek in the B&B at this post-modern patio? Absolutely breathtaking and a perfect place to review your econ exam.
Now this dystopian-esque clawfoot bathtub is on the lowest floor of Willis Library, suited with a personal lamp and a footrest.
I know where I'll be studying for midterms.
Me too.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
North Texas football is making headlines today as new photos were released of the UNT indoor practice facility. The photos show that the first wall has gone vertical, and although construction has just gone underway, it is only a matter of time before the players have a new facility to practice and have another great season. Go Mean Green. Let's move on to college basketball. The entire sports nation held their breath yesterday as star player for Duke, Zion Williamson, sustained an injury in the game versus UNC. In the opening seconds, Zion's shoe gave out, which resulted in Williamson not returning to the game. Recent reports have revealed that he has sprained his right knee, but his joint was stable. This was a huge blow for the Blue Devils as they would lose to their rival UNC 88-72. As of now, there is no timetable of his return. And finally, to lighten the mood, the NBA is officially back after the All-Star break. One of those games to watch is the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Denver Nuggets. The Mavericks are coming in looking on the outside of the playoffs as they hold the 12th spot in the Western Conference, while on the flip side, the Nuggets hold the 2nd seed. This definitely will be a fun duel as Denver has an all-star in Jokic, while the Mavericks are led by rising star Luka Doncic. The action starts tomorrow at 7:30. That's all I have for sports. Back to you.
Thanks, Shaji. Now, coffee isn't the only thing Keurig will brew for you. Here in Texas, we appreciate a cool drink, and luckily, Keurig is expanding their new line of DrinkWork cocktail machines. Keurig is expanding their cocktail mixers across the state of Missouri and into California sometime this summer. The cocktail mixers work similar to a typical Keurig, but using pre-made drink pods to mix your favorite drinks. The machine can sync to your phone via Bluetooth and keep you updated on what it's doing. The pods cost $4 a piece, and there will be 15 different pods at the time of the launch.
Well, guys, did you see that Nielsen says that the margarita is the most popular cocktail in the country?
Really? Well, if that's the case, you have to think Keurig is going to have the margarita pods on the shelves here really soon.
Even tomorrow would be better since it's National Margarita Day.
I'm more of a Jack and Coke guy.
Jack and Coke? Oh, okay. Well, thank you for joining us here on NTTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow night at 6 here on North Texas Television.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.